Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Megha Bhatt, Head of the Department of Economics at JG College of Commerce, Ahmedabad. Today we will discuss international trade and its importance. There are some points we will discuss, meaning, definitions, and the types of the trade, and lastly, importance of international trade. Introduction and the meaning of the international economics. Before discussing the types of internal trade and international trade and all, we should have a knowledge of the meaning of international economics. So, international economics is one of the branch of economics which concern with the exchange of goods and services between one country to another country. So here, exchange of goods and services, it means trade. And basically there are two types of trade, internal trade and external trade. When the transaction or the exchange of goods and services taking place within the geographical boundaries of a nation or a country, it is known as internal trade. And when the transaction is taking place between two countries, it is known as international trade. Definitions. There are some economists, they have given the definitions of the international trade. According to Moser and Holtman, international trade consists of transaction between residents of different countries. And international trade, according to these people, these persons, international trade is more complex or complicated than internal trade. The second definition given by Frederick List. According to him, domestic trade is among us while international trade is between us and them. Now we will take some examples of internal trade and external or international trade. Internal trade means a trade between the states. Some examples: trade between Gujarat and Maharashtra, trade between Gujarat and West Bengal. This trade is known as a domestic trade also. It is called even home trade and inter-regional trade also. Similarly, the external trade, it means trade between the countries. For example, trade between India and Pakistan, trade between India and Singapore, trade between India and United States of America, etc. External trade is known as international trade also. Types of trade, as you know, trade. There are two types of trade: international trade and international trade. Differences between these two trades. Internal trade, it means between two or more regions, cities within a country is known as internal trade. Trade between two or more than two countries is known as international trade. Internal trade is based on internal division of labor. International trade is based on international division of labor. So it means here the labor is the factor of production. In internal trade, same currency is used. International trade, different currencies are used because of different countries are involved in this trade. Transport costs are relatively small in internal trade, and in international trade, it is relatively large. Internal trade is regulated by national or that particular nation's law and policies. International trade is regulated by different laws and policies of different countries. The importance of internal trade, why countries or various countries do trade. The first point is natural resources. Natural resources are unequally divided between the countries of the world. Different countries have a different amount of availability of natural resources, and every country is different from each other in terms of the minerals, climates, and even the production of particular goods. So they have to depend upon one another or each other for the exchange of their surpluses with the goods that are having a shortage in their country, and hence they need an international trade. Second point is specialization. Due to unequal distribution of natural resources, few countries are rich in the producing commodities, particular commodities. For example, here Saudi Arabia, this nation is specialization, has a specialization in producing petroleum products. But this nation or this kind of countries geographically disadvantages of producing the other commodities. So such countries are specialized in the production of such goods in which they have some benefits of available resources in the form of raw materials, climate conditions, etc. And they get other required commodities from another country. So again, international trade is required. Economic growth. Every country is different in terms of economic growth or economic growth rate. There are various types of countries: developed countries, developing countries, and underdeveloped countries. And developing and underdeveloped countries always depends on the developed countries for the purpose of financial help and the production of particular goods in all. So they require international trade for economic growth. Next point is cost of production. Each country specializes in the production of those goods which it can produce at the lowest cost as compared to other countries, which leads to international specialization and division of labor. It decreases the production costs all over the world and increases the standard of living of the people in various countries. So this way, international trade, it is encouraged by the cost of production also. Availability of raw material. Due to international trade, a country can easily solve the problem of scarcity of raw material or food grains. Next point is employment. International trade leads to an increase the employment opportunity by establishing multinational companies in other countries so that local people as well as the industrialization will also get increases. And because of this, ultimately more opportunity of job opportunities increases or generates for the skilled laborers or manpower. Quality products, this is the next point. International trade provides better quality product for the consumer, and it also makes available new varieties for the people in both quantities and qualitative terms. Next point, international relationship. Because of international trade, or you can say international trade always promote the world peace by bringing every country closer to each other. It facilitates the transfer of technology and other assistance from developed countries to developing or underdeveloped countries. By this, international trade creates atmosphere for avoiding wars and conflicts. Due to this, friendly relation can be maintained among the nations. So, hence, due to above mentioned points, the importance of international trade got a vital place in every country. Thank you.